Hey, this is Cardell, and today's topic is Arduino and Twitch chat. During the last live stream, I recorded me trying to fumble my way around getting all these commands to work properly with the Arduino, and I had them set up on the rig in the back with, I think, two lights hooked up right now. And I just have to wire the other ones in some fashion. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but it was working, and I just want to show you an overview of what was done and where I'm at right now with the one problem. So let's pop over to the Arduino side of it. So this is the tutorial web server. It's a simple web server for the Arduino Wi-Fi setting. So it basically connects to your wireless using your SSID and the password. And then it starts the server on port 80. And then I modified it from there. So normally if I go down to the web servers type part, you can see it's outputting like an actual web page, an actual HTML. I don't really need this. I will probably switch this to a REST API instead because I don't need it to display anything. But once it connects, it does a output, sets everything as output and turns them off. And then we have our uh, initialization visually. So when you power it on, you'll actually see the lights do a sweep where they turn 1, 2, 3, and 4 off and then on, and that just lets you know that it's it's working. So once it's connected to the wireless, the web server starts, and then I have endpoints. And these endpoints are what the other side of the coin, the Node.js script that I wrote that monitors the Twitch chat, it actually sends the HTTP request based on the commands you give it. And I basically formatted it with the endpoint being the light number and then the command. So I have one on, one off, two on, etc. So all four of them have it set to do either low or high digital write, so it turns them on or off. And then we have the sweep command at the bottom, which does basically the initialization thing where it turns them all on and then off after 300 milliseconds between each function. So it will basically blink through all four channels. So that is the Arduino side of it. Let's talk about the actual code. So the Node.js is a simple Twitch.js chat monitoring script. And it basically uses my token to log into the server and wait for commands on the Twitch chat. It keeps a log of the light counters and the sweep counters for the commands. And that is going to be used in conjunction with a rate limiter for how many people have to say a command in order to execute the command. The part that is broken is the Twitch API getting the actual current chatter count, and I don't really understand why it's not working, but we're going to fix that. Once I get that working, let's continue and we'll get to that point where it becomes a factor. So it joins the chat and then it sends a message saying, hey, the commands are available, and then it waits for private messages. Once these are on, are sent to the channel, it checks, just sanity checks, hey, there's a message, but does it start with an exclamation point? It rips the command out, and it will basically return if it's not on, off, or sweep. Then we have our history of the user, so you can't do exclamation point on space 1 over and over again to turn it on. It will only let you do a specific command message, so either on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4 are all fine to be done in a row, but you can't do on 1 twice in a row and it counts as 2. So that is the limitation. That is the purpose of this part. And then we have our sweep command and our on-off commands, which are the actual logic behind if it can do the command or not. And this is where it's going to use the total chatters. It's going to take half the number of users in chat and say, as soon as that number of commands have come in, then it will have no remainders and it will do a sweep and then reset the counter. Then we have our on off command, works the same way, and it does the thing. And you can see inside this function that we have the HTTP request going out, and it just depends the number of the light and then the state to the endpoint, and the sweep is just a sweep. But that's how the chat is controlling the lights, is it sending this HTTP request to the Arduino, and the rest is history, and it just carries on from there. So if you want to see anything else, like lights, signs, anything on the desk, I've pondered the idea of a Twitch chat message that would scroll the text across the screen. I don't have any hardware for that. I don't have a screen that could do that, but I think it would be kind of cool. The other part would be other commands. If there are certain devices that have spinny things or spinny lights or whatever, anything that I can control with a power on and off, I would be happy to add it if I can afford it. So that is the current state of the Twitch chat interaction. And if you like it, like, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.